Hi, everybody, and welcome back to this new segment of Max in Life that we're going to call the Quick Tip. Uh, we had gotten some questions before about PDFs and how you work with PDFs and creating PDFs and etc. So I figured I'd do a real quick tutorial on how you can manipulate PDFs or create PDFs. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a PDF. I have a document here that I'm going to use to demonstrate what we're talking about. And it's an article I actually wrote for the site on why you'd switch to a Mac. If you get a chance, go read that. Anyway, I wrote in a regular word processing document. I happen to use Pages. You can do this with any document creation application you have. You can do this with TextEdit. You can do it with Bean. You can do it if it writes text. You can do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a PDF based on this document. All right, so what you do is you go to File, Print, and here's the trick. Instead of sending it directly to the printer, we're going to say Save as PDF. All right, it comes up, Save as, why buy a Mac, blah, 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 blah. So all of our names and titles are there. By default, I have mine set up to save to the desktop. You could save it in your documents. You could save it wherever you like to save it. Here you can put in the subject and keywords to make searching a little bit easier. The searching within Snow Leopard with the new improved Finder is awesome. So if you want to put keywords in it and subjects and all that stuff to make it more easily searchable, especially if you create a lot of documents, that is a very key function. I don't create that many, so I'm not really going to worry about that much. But this is an interesting option. You have security options. And in these options, you have the ability to, password the document itself, so you need a password in order to open it. But the other cool part is, if I'm going to send it to you, I can say, I'll send it to you, but before you can copy the text, you can copy an image, you can copy anything, you have to provide it a password. And the same thing you could do with printing. So you could send a document and say, well, I don't want anybody to copy it, I don't want anybody to print it, and then you can force them to add a password, to verify who they are. So you can give them the password and you say, okay, if you're going to do any edits to it, here's the password. That's up to you. But we're not going to do any of that because I don't need it, that badly for what I'm doing. So my Pages document has now become a PDF. So now I have it in PDF format. In PDF format, what can I do with it? Let's see. I can annotate. So I could come in here and if you look down here at the bottom, there's all these little functions where you could create links, you can, change text, you can add circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this paragraph, right? And then I'm going to come down here and grab the circle. So it circles that paragraph. And if you'll notice, you have these little handles so that you can move it one way or another. So if you say, okay, well, I don't want it to be that big, and I don't, I only want it to be for this paragraph, you can manipulate your oval, all right? And we're not going to do that. At the same time, you could put arrows in, so that if you're trying to highlight something within the PDF that you want somebody to read or look at, or whatever the case may be, we can change colors. So we can say, I want a purple arrow now. It's not rocket science, and it's nothing that's earth-shattering. It's something you've probably seen before, but didn't understand how easy it was to do it. So we're going to get rid of those arrows. The other question that I get is, how do I edit this? So if I come in and I want to add a word here, why can't I add this word? Why, this doesn't give you the ability to edit the PDF. You can annotate it, which basically lays stuff on top of it, because for all intents and purposes, a PDF is an image. All right. So what you can do, though, is you want to come up here and you want to click text. and you want to select your text that you want to copy. And we're going to do a Command-C to copy it. I'm going to pop over here. I already have a Pages document open. I'm going to paste it in. Alright, now here's the cool thing. I can come in here and delete a word. I can, add text, whatever I want to do. Then once I'm done, I just save it back as a PDF. Therefore, my PDF's been edited. It's an additional step to, if you would have something like Adobe Writer, you could go in and actually edit the PDF on the fly. The difference is this way, it doesn't cost you anything. It's using tools and products that are built into the operating system. So it's not gonna cost you anything up front. It takes an extra step in order to do it, but in the long run, you're saving a bunch of money, because I'm not sure off the top of my head what the price is for Adobe Reader or Adobe Writer 8 or 9 or whatever version they're on. I'll put that in the article that accompanies this, but yeah, I know it's a lot more than free. So, and our mantra, you can't beat free. So that's pretty much all we have for PDFs. If you have any questions about PDFs, leave something in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. If I'm not going to answer them, Chuck will. Somebody from the show will take care of you. If you have any other questions, you can hit us up on the FormSpring widget that's over here on the side. You can always send us an email directly at maxandlife@gmail.com. Send us back. Tell me how you work with PDFs, how you want to change it, or if this whole thing I just did was a waste of time. Until next time, though, take it easy.